There are 3 things that all humans will experience in their lifetime. Birth, forgetting your password despite using the same password for everything, but after spending 10 minutes trying to change it, it says that that's your current password, which is weird because that's the reason you're changing it to begin with. And hunger. Dungeon Meshi is a 24-episode anime premiering this season that perfectly captures the idea of hunger. This is why it's one of my favorite anime this season that isn't a season 2 or solo leveling. Because deep down at my heart of hearts, I am morbidly obese, and nothing warms my high in cholesterol heart more than the sight of beautiful anime food. I love it almost as much as the sponsor of today's video. Sponsored by World of Tanks. I'm a simple man who likes simple things like blowing things up, which is why I play World of Tanks, a PC game that costs less than I pay for my gym membership, which is nothing. Being a free-to-play game means that you can jump in whether you're a pro, novice, or whatever I am. There's a huge arsenal of over 800 tanks that you can choose from to fit your playstyle, whether that be tank destroyers, heavy tanks, or the only correct option, light tanks. There are massive battles where you and your teammates can scout out all of the unique terrains, devise a plan of attack, have that one guy run off by himself, and then destroy the competition in over 40 battle arenas. Now, if you pass your history class with flying colors, then you'll love the historical accuracy with the models. You can even modify and upgrade your tanks to create a tank so good you might have a chance to defeat my Guido, which isn't too difficult. So download World of Tanks by using the first link in the description, and use promo code COMBAT if you're a new player, and you'll get 7 days of premium access, 250,000 credits, the Premium Tank Cromwell B, and 3 rental tanks for 10 battles each, including the Tiger 131, T78, and Type 64. And if you're a returning player who hasn't played in more than 30 days, you'll get 3 days of premium access, the 2D style bargain camouflage, and a 7-day rental of Premium Tank Centurion Mk51 RAAC, or 100,000 credits if you have this tank already in your garage. Thank you, World of Tanks, and now back to the video. Now, let me give you a satire synopsis of the anime. Deep inside the heart of the dungeon, a party of brave adventurers are in combat with a red dragon. The tide of battle constantly changing, the dragon is relentless, and just when it looks like the end, the sister sacrifices herself for the party to escape. This is not what fucking happened. Our main character, Laios, while the rest of the team was fighting to make it home to their wives and kids, was in the corner like, man, I could really go for a Hot Pocket.
Someone help!
Which flavor? Pepperoni?
Oh God, he just burned Tommy alive!
Philly cheesesteak?
Stay with me, Tommy. Think of the kids.
As long as it's not ham and cheddar. Ugh. Then the sister teleported them all out of the dungeon. Now these 2 members, let's call them the perceptive pair. With their combined intellect, they came to the conclusion that I'm not doing that again. This leaves the hungry hippo, seasonal elf mage, and that one kid that mugged me in Baldur's Gate. Bet he regrets that now. They only have 1 month to save Laios' sister before she gets digested by the red dragon. The only problem is when they were teleported out, their inventory was left behind, meaning much like me when this Astolfo figurine comes out, they have no money. This leaves them with one major problem. What are they gonna eat? Although some of them got the idea to sell a certain member of the team, which I wouldn't be against, they instead decided that they would simply get all of their food from the dungeon by eating the creatures in it. Some members were happier than others. The only problem that they face now is that they don't know how to cook monsters. Luckily, Senshi, a dwarf who's enthusiastic about eating anything that breathes, teaches them how to cook, even deciding to travel alongside them. The rest of the anime follows the lighthearted adventure of a group of friends as they explore the dungeon, eating as many monsters as their hearts desire. I feel like we forgot about something. Anime food is a different breed of food. I mean, anime food is so good that you can put on 100 pounds in one sitting, makes you take a chip and eat it, even makes women drool from their second mouth. Just for comparison, look how good this looks in anime. Now real life. Anime. Real life. Anime. Real life. Dungeon Meshi got me licking my screen, dreaming of the day that the Taste TV is released to the public. Granted, it may be slightly unusual to eat monsters, but I'm Asian and grew up eating a lot of things that I consider to be monsters. Grasshoppers, durian, balut. And I'm no genius, but maybe, just maybe, if there's an animal that's poisonous with no known antidote, then maybe we shouldn't be eating it. This is why I connect with Marcel on a personal level. However, at the end of the day, I respect this story for following the one true Asian motto that everything can be cooked if you try hard enough. Everything. If the only reason that Dungeon Meshi was good was because of its eye-watering food, then I would be talking about Fluffy Paradise instead. But this world, although not different from what you might see in any other fantasy anime, has a multitude of details about the creatures. For example, we all know the classic slime, weak, round, fun at parties. But this anime goes so far as to detail the organs of the slime, which kind of just looks like a plant cell. This information will never get you into that Ivy League school your parents dreamed you would go to, but it sure is interesting to know. There are also so many diverse creatures and plants in this world that they eat: mandrakes, basilisks, even...
Oh no, not again! Don't eat the bats!
The creatures in this world are by no means unique, but the mangaka does such a great job at taking a base idea and making it unique. This is a golem, right? Everyone knows them. They preserve the order of the forest, survive on sunlight and water, cost 4 iron blocks and a pumpkin. But there's so much more than that in this world. Since they're made out of dirt, that means they can be used as glorified plant pots. This uniqueness makes all the creatures they end up eating, and the ugly inbred orcs, so much more engrossing. One of my favorite features of this world is the great healthcare plans. In many stories, death is often the biggest fear, or at least adds stakes to it. However, in Dungeon Meshi, you can simply revive dead people depending on the damage to their bodies, which helps it maintain its lighthearted tone. Hopefully they can still revive her when she looks like this. The dungeon aspect, on the other hand, is probably the least special part of the show. There is even a tale that whoever makes it to the bottom of the dungeon and defeats the evil mage will gain the One Piece, which is somehow the least interesting part of the show. The characters are an enigma. You have the most side character, main character of all time, Laios, which I can't really say because if you look up the main character, it's Chucky. Unlike the rest of the team, Laios has a deep, dark secret that he never wants the others to know. I still can't figure out if he wants to eat them or sleep with them. Either way, I have the anime for you. The comic relief elf, Marcille, her single job in this anime is to hate on every single meal, shake and cry violently before eating it and instantly changing her mind. Now, you may originally believe that she's a picky eater, which is something I can relate to, despite the fact that I would eat a 2-week-old McDonald's cheeseburger with a wrapper that's fused with the burger, which I have, but I still have some standards for food. So, aside from it being a running gag, the explanation of why she's like this is quite simple. Picky eaters are just the tsunderes of eating. This dwarf is an extremist. He makes standing around thinking about food while your party is dying look like the morally acceptable option. Since she has been cooking monsters for 10 years, bringing the experience of an ethnic mother to the team. This is clearly seen by how he can touch burning oil with his hands, obviously part of their skill tree. Now, some people have brought the morality of him into question since he is kind of killing creatures repetitively for food, but what are you, vegan? Then you have Chuck. He's a thief or something, but I think that's everybody, and nobody was forgotten about. The animation is so consistent, and if you look at the scene, you can tell that it was animated by Studio Trigger. Their hyperactive style is littered throughout the anime, and I love it. The intro is amazing, mostly because I love Bump of Chicken, with the ED being solid too. Unfortunately, the OSTs haven't had much time to shine yet. However, this anime isn't all sunshine and rainbows. You see this big logo at the beginning of the anime? Well, this is the company that took all the benefits of having loving parents away. It also means they're gonna find some way to mess it up. And they did. Now, I've been doing my daily Duolingo against my will for quite a while now, and some of these words aren't lining up with their meaning. Netflix translators clearly gave it the community college treatment, but it wasn't awful. The dub wasn't phenomenal either, except you, ProCD. You'll always be the best. As I said earlier, the animation is consistent, but personally, I'm not the biggest fan of the character designs, especially the weird looking sister. No wonder nobody's in a rush to save you. The anime has great comedy in my opinion, but if you don't like the same joke of, I'm not gonna eat that, then you'll probably get annoyed pretty quickly. In conclusion, it's not about the journey to save your sister who's decomposing in gastric acid. It's about the food you ate along the way. Oh. 0 out of 10. I watched on an empty stomach. Thank you once again to World of Tanks for sponsoring this video. Go play the game, link in the description. Hello, Chef Lunar here. Click here to check out the recommended video. Click here to check out the most recent video. And click here to check out my second channel. Alright, cool. Let him cook!